Hi guys, Chosen Reactions, and this video I'm going to react to episode 17 of season 1 of Babylon 5. But before I get into it, I first want to say I forgot to mention in my review of the last episode that I also of course really enjoyed the Garibaldi and the Linnea moments. I thought it was very adorable, and I could understand why at first Garibaldi was like, oh no, you fixed my bike, now I have nothing to do. You know, especially because he was working on it for such a long time, and it's a good distraction, you know, from all the mess that's going on in Babylon 5. But I was I was overjoyed when, you know, eventually was like, yeah, okay, it's still, you know, the work is very well done. And he wanted to enjoy the bike, you know, together with Linnea. And that we actually got to see them ride the bike as well. I'm not sure how the hell I forgot to mention that, but at least I'm doing it now. So yeah, let's get into it. Do they always need to use very stressful music whenever someone goes through that?
Never thought I'd see one of those again.
Okay, yeah, they used the music quite fully then. I'll shut up.
It's a trap, Mitchell! I got a clear shot. I can take him. Bingo! I'm hit! Ejected! Hey, come back here! Steve! Stop! Steve! Stop her!
Get Dr. Franklin fast.
You know this girl?
No, she's just taken a mind burst. She's a telepath.
The Minbari's coming in with her gun ports open. She's armed for a fight.
What? Excuse me? Dylan, what do you have to say about this? Must be, a very unfortunate misunderstanding. They just happen to have to clean their weapons. And I'm guessing that telepath is on the run from Psycorps? Trying to live under the radar?
We are on a peaceful mission, Commander.
Then why are your gun ports open?
We have no interest in explaining our ways.
Yeah, hell no! You're gonna have to explain if you wanna arrive here.
There's been a misunderstanding, Commander. If you will scan the ship, you will find that the guns are not active.
Confirmed. No targeting
Jeez.
sensors detected.
I must prepare to meet.
But
the
why
cortege.
wouldn't you say this long before?
You will both join
And-
me there, of course, to honor Brenmer's memory and to welcome the cortege.
We'll be there.
Dylan, you know, nothing wrong with just, you know, asking things instead of sort of commanding.
She's a telepath. A strong one. I felt her scream in my mind when she took the burst.
What do you mean by burst?
If you're born with your psi talent active, you learn early on to block the noise of other minds. But sometimes the talent is latent until it's triggered. Onset of puberty can do it. This girl looks about the right age for that. As soon as we find out who she is, I'll arrange for her transport to Earth. A Psy-Corps rep can meet her there.
Negative. She was committing a theft when she went down. She's under station jurisdiction until that is dealt with. She's not going anywhere.
You're not being reasonable.
Fine, it's my call and I'm making it.
Excuse me, but until this is resolved, she is still my patient and I'm ordering you out. Both of you.
At least that's what I keep telling myself. Giving the Minbari this courtesy is a sign of respect. It'll help strengthen the reconciliation of our two worlds.
Maybe. You ask me. This is gonna be nothing but trouble.
When isn't it trouble? Pretty much the whole show is trouble. In capital letters.
The commander has arranged the place in which the Shai elite may lie in state.
It is a worthy thing to honor the Shai Halit. Thank you.
And worthy that you would honor the importance of this place with his presence.
Would very much like you to be present at the viewing of the Shai elite's body tomorrow.
Of course.
Sense some reluctance.
Bremer
How
was a
would that
hard,
have, you know,
canny enemy.
why would
It's
that be?
difficult to forget that.
It is because he was such a great warrior that his body is being displayed in this way.
It's not traditional.
It is most unusual. The Star Riders, his clan, insisted on it.
You don't like it, do you?
You as I say, you can block the voice inside your head. Now relax. Imagine
Kinda hard with that
wall
echo.
inside your mind, behind your eyes. Build it brick by brick. Yes, you can. Focus. See the wall. The sound will go away as the wall goes high. You'll only hear what you want to hear. Yes.
You don't stay alive unless you got credits to pay with. You don't have to feel bad about it. I'm used to doing it for myself. My mom died young too, same as yours.
Stop that!
What's the matter?
Alicia, you must never read someone's mind without permission.
But it was so plain.
Don't worry, my security team will...
No. No human security. I have arranged for
Then
Minbari
why are
guards
you
on the
even
Shahid
here
body
then?
during the night.
This is my station. I don't take orders here.
Impetuous. Is this how you reacted on the line, Commander?
Excuse me?
No.
You're out of line.
We were in control there.
How'd you like to?
It's been my experience that discussions of old battles only interest historians.
You don't want to go there at Sinclair, no. What?
Where is the Shai-Halit?
Oh! It's empty? Delin, do you know anything about this?
To lose the vessel of his soul will bring his clan's fury upon you.
Are you threatening to make war over this?
That is how the last one started, with the murder of Ducat.
That was a tragic accident.
And if this is another such accident...
If I may, no matter how great the loss, it is not our way to let a single clan dictate Minbari policy.
No, Miss Winters wants to send her to the Psi Corps immediately. I believe she should have a choice in what happens to her. Commander, what happened before? My mother? I just can't let this slide.
I know. Do what you think is right. I'll back your play.
Yes, sir.
But no one's come forth to claim credit for taking this great general's body.
Great general. Yes. The
Talk.
last thing he wanted to be. Before he became a warrior of the Star Riders clan, Branmer was a high priest of the religious caste.
I've heard it was the religious caste who issued the surrender order. Branmer agreed?
He obeyed, but there are still warriors who resented. One of the war leaders, Sinaville, committed suicide rather than give the order to surrender.
And Nerun.
Nerun is also a Star Rider. He would have died for Branmer.
Is that also partly why she mentioned that it's very horrible when the religious and warrior caste of the Minbari agree with each other? Was she also thinking about this?
The Narn regime has accomplished many things in its glorious past, but body snatching isn't one of them. Why don't you ask in the alien sector? I'm sure you could find someone there with an interest in dead bodies.
What kind of interest? Or maybe I don't want to know.
Oh, no. Not the carrion eaters.
Bon appetit.
Carrion eaters?
Every week, for 10 years, they injected her with drugs that suppressed her telepathic talents. Every day she died a little. Until she finally ended it by taking her own life.
That was your mother.
This body's been stolen.
Don't tell me the body's really eaten.
What did you do with it?
Answer the question.
I have heard nothing.
Then I'm afraid I have no choice. I'll have to make a deeper inquiry.
Deeper inquiry?
I'm going to have to insist that you all have your stomachs pumped.
Ooh.
All we ask is a small sample of blood and tissue every now and then, say twice a month.
For what?
You know we are the only race without telepathy.
Still going on about those enhancements?
Genetically speaking, of an entire
Oh
breed.
god, no. That reminds me of that conversation in the, oh no, the gathering.
Didn't Jakar try and talk our last telepath into something like this?
Yeah.
You trying to
Yeah,
succeed where he
still
failed?
horrified by that.
I'll talk to you later. I
Uh,
have to lie down.
what exactly did you see?
That isn't a sign of some frailty in her.
I know I'm not supposed to, but
What was it like in there?
cold, ugly, alien. It's not like looking
Well,
into a human
that's what would happen
felt
if
like
someone
it
is
was
alien.
terrible.
By the way, you know what they say Narn tastes like?
Yeah, chicken. Man, I really need a vacation.
The man is useless. Stomach contents.
He is
Branmer's
trying.
body must be found. If Mr. Garibaldi fails in his search, I may find it necessary to have my ship assume the job of taking this station apart.
Can you stop with the threats?
I don't take kindly to threats, Elite.
I do not make threats, Commander.
What? Promises?
Just because your mother didn't cooperate.
Didn't
like your
cooperate,
friend
she didn't have a
Ironheart,
choice.
come out of this. Don't you
That's
dare
the-
bring him into
Stop
this.
it! Stop it, both of you! You keep arguing over what you want. You don't care about what I want. You don't even ask.
What do you want?
To know the truth about all my choices. Is that all of it?
No. There's one more possibility you should consider.
Those who wish to help others, to serve others, are greatly respected within our culture. They are encouraged and helped in their goal by making sure that their needs are met. They're clothed and fed and left alone to do what they are called to do. It is a small price to pay for something that benefits many.
I think we should go.
Don't you need some more time?
No, I got a clear picture. Thank you.
Well, isn't that awkward, Dylan?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Everywhere has been searched but here, where no one would dare to go.
Wrong. I searched these quarters personally with Ambassador Delenn observing.
Commander, there's something you have to know. When I was talking to Ambassador Delenn, I looked inside her head. And I saw something.
Interrupted something?
Good evening, Commander. Mr. Garibaldi.
Shipping something home, Ambassador?
Just some personal possessions.
Are those ashes?
I think we need to talk.
What is that?
Quite a trick. Stealing Branmer's body and cremating it without
It
anyone
is.
noticing it. Why?
As a member of the religious caste, I felt an obligation to Branmer. As I told you, he was a reluctant hero. He only became a war leader because he felt it was necessary for the sake of the Minbari people. I decided to carry out Branmer's wishes. His ashes are to be sent home. They will be scattered in space, near our world. Unfortunately, you and Mr. Garibaldi have put that plan in jeopardy.
How could this have any more jeopardy than it does now?
I believe I could have explained it as a true religious mystery. If you will honor my situation, I will honor yours. It is regrettable, but I see no choice. We will tell him the truth, but I will tell him my way.
How will this be received?
You had to display the great warrior's body. You had to have your military spectacle. It stops here. Or the Star Riders will be destroyed. Dishonored by your actions.
Do you speak for yourself?
I speak for the entire Grey Council.
There is no higher testimony to a warrior's courage and skill than praise from his enemy. I would like to send that message to your homeworld in a personal message. A testimony to the Shyalit.
You will do this as an Earth Force officer.
And as commander of Babylon 5.
Damn.
That is a great kindness.
Branmer's life was more significant than his battles. Let the warrior caste praise his courage in war, and let the rest praise him for what he truly was. A man of peace.
You talk like a Minbari, Commander. Perhaps there was some small wisdom in letting all species survive.
We like to think so.
Do you think Talia and Ivanova would be really teed off if I decided to go with them in Bari?
In order? Yes and no. I don't need to be a telepath to figure that one out.
Alisa could become an instrument of great communication between humans and Minbari. We suffer a lack there, as you know, Commander.
Who knows? Maybe you'll learn a trick or two and come back and teach us.
Thanks. I might do that.
As long as you write once in a while.
I will. I won't forget you. There was one other thing. A word. Chrysalis. I don't know what it means.
Chrysalis?
It's a cocoon, I think.
Cocoon? That's weird. She shut down real fast when I touched that. Why would she want to hide that?
Does that have to do with you?
I don't know.
I guess I have to go.
Does it have to do with you? That makes you scared about my sleeper theory. Sleeper agent theory. What's up with the chrysalis? It has to do with Sinclair. But what? Is he gonna change it to a butterfly or something, like not literally, but you know. And then it will be, I don't even know what. Alright, this was episode 17 of season 1 of Babylon 5, and another very good episode. I really enjoyed this. We had 2 different storylines, sorta. We had one with a young girl who's also a telepath, and because of puberty, her powers, I guess, or a gift got triggered, and after that, you know, it's up to her, or well, I guess the Ivanova and Winters need a reminder of that. But after that, she had to make a decision. Elisa had to decide, you know, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna join Psycorps? Are there any other options? So we kind of got to see her, you know, exploring those options because of Ivanova. I mean, if it was up to Winters, she would have just be straight shipped to Earth and be picked up by Psycorps, which, you know, I'm also not really a fan of, to put it lightly. So it was interesting to see her kind of, you know, explore that, and to also go into Aliens the Mind and, you know, be quite scared by that, but also leading to what we needed, you know, the key information to know what the heck happened to the body of a great, someone who's known as a great, I guess warrior, which is the other storyline, which was, I guess, the main one, at least for me. Pretty much immediately tensions are high. We have this warrior Minbari ship that obviously, with a lack of a better word, well, triggers Sinclair's, because that's literally the same kind of warrior ships that were used on the line during the war. And yeah, there's not really a very nice attitude going on. You know, we had those gun ports being armed, being open, and Naroon didn't want to say bye. It was only until Delin, you know, stepped in and explained what was going on that things could kind of calm down for a second. But yeah, tensions were very high between Naroon and between Sinclair. But I was still very much surprised by how composed Sinclair was, even though I feel like I shouldn't be that surprised. I don't know. But I'm constantly, I guess, being amazed by Sinclair. You know, he's definitely very inspirational. And I wish I had the patience that he has. But even though, you know, there's definitely this tension going on, it was pretty fast. It was made clear that Delane wasn't happy with the situation herself. She didn't really seem to, well, agree or like the fact that the body of Branmer would be displayed. You know, displayed as the warrior that he is. You know, some kind of, as she later will say, some kind of monument of the war. So I don't think it was that surprising that it turned out that, you know, eventually that she was involved with the disappearance of the body. But I do like it, you can already tell, because generally speaking, I don't like it when you have like twists and there was no chance in hell that you could ever have, you know, guessed it or see it coming. I mean, generally speaking, I'm not saying always, but just generally speaking. So it's nice that it was already made clear that, yeah, she wasn't happy with what was going on herself as well. So, of course, we had this whole investigation going on. And Sinclair and Garibaldi were both trying to make sure that we get the information they need. But yeah, it's no surprise that the wound didn't really take them that seriously, or felt that they were not taking him seriously. And they had a lot of pressure, and it almost came down to a fight. We also throughout the situation, we got some more information, some more background information about the Minbari, a little bit more about the tension between the warriors and religious caste. And also, like, I'm not sure if it has been mentioned before. If it has, I'm sorry if I forgot it, but also that the religious, I guess, caste were the ones who gave the orders to the warriors to step down from the battle, from the war, to surrender themselves. You know, I mean, I think it kind of, because obviously it's something that the Great Council wanted. I liked how Delin explained why she decided to, well, go behind everyone's back and cremated the body and wanted to send it, back home. I can understand why she did this, and yeah, I do agree with her there. I just wish that she would have, went to Sinclair or gone to Sinclair and asked him for his help. But then again, what if he would have refused? Because, he does want to make sure that we're not gonna get another war. So I can see where she's coming from. But I was definitely a little bit like, yo, don't get too angry, Sinclair, now. But I'm happy that eventually she was able to do what she wanted to do and to keep that promise. At the end of the day, again, that was also a choice. Branmer decided at the time, if he would pass away, that he wanted to be cremated. He wanted his ashes to be spread into space around his home world. He didn't want to be, displayed as some kind of like, oh, look at glorious, let's romanticize the things that he's been through with the war, and that's totally not what he would have wanted. So it's nice that even though that they had to, she had to do this whole plan, his choice did get respected at the end. And yeah, Deline, she is very good at intimidating. I was definitely like, oh, okay, when she told the wound, like, this is what's gonna happen, this is how it's gonna be. And also even demanded him to personally apologize to Sinclair, which I thought would be very phony. But when that apology did happen, he actually got to see, again, what a great person Sinclair is, because Sinclair, he promised that he would make, that he would send a personal message to their homeworld, to acknowledge what a great leader Brenmer was, how a great leader, how he, leaded their well, I guess the Minbari warriors, which is obviously a very big thing. Again, I'm like, he's been through a lot, Sinclair. They were literal enemies, but still, he can focus, he can focus on the future. He can focus on the, on his mission once again to make sure that there will at some point be total peace. And he also acknowledged, what Deline said, that it was more complicated, that he wasn't this warrior that they wanted to portray. Just like with almost every person in this show, there's something deeper going on. And like she said, he was a priest in his heart, and he participated in his war because he thought, it was for the good of the Minbari. He was, like she said, a reluctant hero. So I don't know. I thought, even though I'm still like amazed, I thought overall it was pretty beautiful, a beautiful moment. And even though I didn't really appreciate, I know what he meant, but still I didn't really appreciate, when the wound said like, oh, maybe it was good that we let the, your kind survive after all. Sinclair could laugh about, but I was a little bit like, yeah, let's not. So I like that, like I said, Bremmer's choice at the end, got executed. And then we also had Elisa, who also got to make her own choice. And I like that she called out both Ivanova and Winters, that they're not even listening or asking what she wants. And they was the wake-up call they needed. And when she made a decision, they, even though, like Winter said, she didn't agree with it, she still support her decision. And she also acknowledged that she was being a little bit too harsh towards Ivanova. I was actually surprised. It's like, yo, I know it's been a while since you've been here, Winters, but you should really understand why it's such a sensitive topic for Ivanova. I mean, are you surprised that she isn't really here, for just sending this girl to Psycorps? But then again, she's part of Psycorps herself. It wouldn't really make sense for her, to be totally against it in the first place. And that's my main thing, again, like, obviously, the main issue with Psycorps, well, one of the many main issues, is that they don't have a choice. Or at least, they make it very difficult for people to have a choice. So I'm very happy that in this episode, Elisa appears to have one. But honestly, there's definitely this part of me that wouldn't be surprised if in a future episode turns out she did end up as Psycorps, or people of Psycorps have managed to, I don't know, get her away from the Minbari. But we'll see about that. And speaking of the Minbari, we had this whole, like, how do you pronounce it again? Chrysalis? I can't pronounce it. I already forgot about it. But yeah, we had that because Elisa said that when she read Delyn's mind, there was also something about the chrysalis, and which is like a cocoon. You know, I'm guessing as in what butterflies. I mean, before they are the butterflies, during the caterpillar, and I'm just like, okay, it has to do with Sinclair, because why else would she have been that triggered? So I'm just, you know, at first I was thinking about the sleeper agent thing, like maybe he's still in the, I don't know, maybe he still has to be triggered somehow, maybe he will this butterfly that they need. But then I'm not sure how far-fetched that is, but I actually, in my little break, I was also thinking, you know, when I was looking through my messy notes, as you know, I was thinking like, okay, butterfly, a lot of times I'm personally thinking about reincarnation. And I was like, wait a minute, didn't Minbari believe in like reincarnation? I mean, at least about their own kind. So I actually went back to, I believe, the second episode, like Soul Hunter, and I went back to kind of check like, oh, okay, it is right. And now I'm just kind of wondering, okay, am I just off base here? Of course, don't tell me. Am I off base here, or should I also think about reincarnation? Because I've been wondering, like, why Sinclair? I mean, I love Sinclair, obviously, but like, why Sinclair, of all people? I'm just wondering, because obviously souls are very important, and I know that it was about the Minbari and their souls, and that they believe if their souls, you know, if they don't get captured by the soul hunters but released, that they will, I guess, get together and then will go to the next generation, and that's, you know, how they continue to, I guess, improve themselves, you know, reincarnation, learn things. I'm kind of wondering if there's something about Sinclair's soul that stands out, even though I don't even know how would they even have known, of all people. But I'm just, again, maybe totally off base, but that's what I'm kind of leaning towards too, with the whole soul, and maybe he's a reincarnation, even though that wouldn't make sense because he isn't Minbari, but maybe he's a reincarnation, or they believe that he will eventually reincarnate into, I don't even know. But I'm just sharing my random thoughts at the moment. I'm totally out of loss. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm looking forward to getting that answer someday. Looking at my messy notes. I mean, wasn't that the... Maybe I forgot something again, but... Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, that's what I'm kind of like, you know, the whole chrysalis, whatever, confused me even more. But not in a, like, oh, now I'm irritated, but more like, I'm intrigued. I need to know more, Ray. So yeah, I think that was it for the episode. Well, alright. Thank you for watching. Bye.